One of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, indicators of sexual attraction is eye contact. Happy version of me, but not just any eye contact, the kind that lingers. You know the difference. There's the polite, socially acceptable glance people give each other during regular conversation, happy version of me. And then there's the look that holds on just a little longer. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his version of me, his eyes give him away before his words do. It's not something he scripts or plans. It happens naturally because attraction is not logical, it's instinctive. His gaze will drift to places beyond just your eyes. Happy version of me. Maybe he catch himself looking at your lips when you speak, or his eyes lower briefly to your neck, collarbone, version of me, or even your hands when you gesture. These aren't conscious decisions. They're subconscious expressions of desire. Moments where his attention gets magnetized to the parts of you that spark his attraction. This kind of eye contact doesn't feel the same as a friendly look across the room. It carries a charge. Sometimes it's playful, sometimes it's intense. But either way, it's different. You'll feel it because it creates a moment of tension, a small version of me, electric pause in the middle of an otherwise normal interaction. And it's in that pause that the truth lies. If you're attuned it, you can sense the shift. Your body picks up on it before your mind does. There's a certain softness in his eyes, or maybe a little smirk that accompanies the gaze. It's not about being obvious or inappropriate. It's about fascination. When a man is sexually attracted to you, he gets curious. He notices the details of your face, your expressions, your reactions. Happy version of me. He watches how your lips move when you talk, how you tilt your head when you're thinking, how you smile at something funny. And all of this happens in real time, often without him realizing just how much attention he's giving you. Sometimes, a version of me, he might even break eye contact abruptly, not because he's not interested, but because he's caught himself staring. That quick glance away can be just as telling as the stare itself. Attraction can make people a little nervous, a little vulnerable. So you'll often see moments where he looks at you, then looks away only to look back again seconds later. It's like a push and pull happening internally. His mind is telling him to play it cool, but his eyes are betraying his real feelings. Version of me. And that's where you get the truth, because the eyes are honest. They reveal what the mouth is too cautious to say out loud. In fact, happy version of me. Some men may not even realize how much they're looking at you until you meet their gaze and hold it. Version of me, that moment of mutual recognition can shift the entire energy between you. Suddenly, there's a silent conversation happening. Version of no words are needed because your eyes are already saying everything. This is why reading body language is often more accurate than analyzing text messages or waiting for someone to spell out their feelings. Version of me, eye contact doesn't lie. It tells you when someone is present with you, when their focus has narrowed to just you, when there's something deeper happening beneath the surface. Version of me. So the next time you find yourself wondering if he's just being friendly or if there's a genuine spark of desire, happy version of me. Pay attention to how he looks at you, not just once, but throughout the time you spend together. Does he hold your gaze a moment longer than he does with anyone else? Do his eyes soften or light up when you speak? Version of me. Do you catch him watching you even when you're not directly talking to him? These are the signs that give you real insight. Version of me. Because when it comes to sexual attraction, the eyes aren't just windows to the soul, they're windows to intent. They reveal what words often won't. And version of me, another undeniable sign of sexual attraction is the way he positions himself physically around you. It's me, it's not always about grand gestures or obvious advances. Sometimes it's about the small, subtle moments when he moves closer without even thinking about it. Human beings are wired for connection. Happy version of me. And when someone feels that magnetic pull toward you, space starts to shrink naturally. Happy version of me. You'll notice that he stands a little closer than necessary when you're talking. Maybe he leans in when you laugh or finds reasons to brush against you casually. A hand on your back as you walk through a crowded room. Happy version of me. A playful touch on your arm when he makes a joke, or his knee grazing yours when you're sitting side by side. Happy version of me. These gestures aren't accidental. They're signs that he's drawn to you physically and emotionally. Version of me. Physical proximity is one of the most ancient forms of flirting. It's the body's way of saying, "Ooh, I want to be near you." And when that nearness includes gentle, respectful touches, version of me, it's usually because he's testing the chemistry between you. Is there mutual comfort? Is there shared attraction? These little touches become a way of asking those questions without saying a word. If you lean into, if you don't pull away, the connection grows stronger. It creates a feedback loop where both people get more comfortable with closeness and the tension slowly builds. That's often how flirtation moves from conversation into a more intimate space. Happy version me, but it's not just about touch. It's about the intention behind the touch. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his touch feels different from friendly contact. There's more attentiveness to it. It's often lighter, more playful, sometimes lingering just a second longer than strictly necessary. He might help you adjust your jacket, offer his hand to steady you, or pick a piece of lint off your sweater. These are moments designed to create closeness, not just physically, but emotionally. Version of me. He's not just helping you fix your sleeve, he's finding a socially acceptable way to close the gap and connect. Happy version of me. And when you're tuned into it, you'll notice these gestures happen more frequently the stronger the attraction becomes. Version of me. Even when there's no direct touch, his body language will still reveal the truth. Yappy version of me. You'll see it in the way he orients himself toward you fully. His shoulders will be pointed at you, his feet angled in your direction, his torso turned toward yours instead of away. This is the body's unconscious way of saying, you have my attention. People who are only half engaged tend to angle their bodies toward the door, their friends, or their phones. Happy version of me. But when someone is attracted to you, especially on a sexual level, those distractions fade. His physical posture shows where his focus really is. Sometimes proximity can also be about playful boundary testing. He might step into your purse space just slightly, not in a way that makes you uncomfortable, but in a way that invites you to notice. This kind of behavior creates moments of subtle tension, like when you're both reaching for the same object and your hands touch, or when you're sharing a private joke and he leans in to whisper something close to your ear. These are all cues that signal a desire to be closer, not just emotionally, but physically. And the truth is, version of me. Attraction often starts in the mind, but expresses itself through the body. When someone is drawn to you sexually, version of me, the space between you starts to disappear because they want to feel that energy more directly. So, if you find him consistently finding ways to be near you, to create moments of closeness, and to initiate gentle touches, understand that these are some of the clearest, most instinctive signs of desire. It's not about what he says. It's about where he chooses to be and how often he chooses to be right there next to you. Another powerful sign of sexual attraction often hides in plain sight, his voice and the way he talks to you. It's not just about what he says, but how he says it. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his tone often changes without him even realizing it. It softens, becomes more playful, sometimes slower or lower in pitch. There's a subtle shift from ordinary conversation to something more intimate, even if the words themselves remain casual. His voice might drop when he leans in to tell you something, creating a moment where the conversation feels just a little more private, even in a crowded room. Version of me. It's these small changes that indicate he's not just engaging with you as a friend. He's testing the chemistry, seeing if you pick up on the shift. You'll also notice that flirtation starts to sneak into his language. A man who is sexually attracted to you will often find playful ways to tease you, to joke with you, or to create little private moments of banter that feel exclusive to the two of you. He might be version of me. He might make light fun of something you said, but in a way that draws you closer, not pushes you away. Version of me. This isn't about being mean or making you uncomfortable. It's about creating a playful tension. Traction of me. Attraction often starts in laughter because it allows people to lower their guard. It's through shared humor and playful teasing that emotional walls begin to fall. And when a man flirts this way, whoppy version of me, what he's really doing is building a bridge between you. He's saying, let's play in this space together and see where it goes. Sometimes he'll also introduce subtle hints of innuendo into the conversation, not to be disrespectful, but to test the waters. He's gauging how comfortable you are with flirtatious banter, how open you are to playful back and forth that has an underlying tone of desire. If you respond with your own teasing comment or playful smirk, the attraction between you both starts to grow naturally. It's important to understand that this is not about being overt or inappropriate. It's about creating a shared language of chemistry, a little dance of words that lets both people know there's more happening beneath the surface. When a man is sexually attracted to you, he also tends to ask deeper, more personal questions. He moves past small talk and starts to explore topics that bring the two of you closer emotionally as well as physically. Version of me. He might ask about your passions, your dreams, or your views on relationships, not just because he's curious about your life, but because he's trying to build connection. These conversations become a safe way to explore intimacy without explicitly stating desire. It's a way of saying, I want to know you, not just on the surface, happy version of me, but in the layers underneath. Pay attention to the way he listens during these moments. When attraction is present, especially sexual attraction, he listens with more focus. His responses are more attuned to you. His jokes are more personalized version of me. And the conversation feels like it exists in its own bubble, separate from the rest of the world. That version of that kind of focused interaction doesn't happen by accident. It's a sign that his mind is fully present because his interest is not casual. It's charged with something more. So if you notice his tone changing, his voice becoming softer or more playful, and his words slipping into teasing or suggestive territory, a version of me. Understand what's happening. These are not random choices. They are signs of attraction unfolding in real time. He's building a private connection, testing comfort levels and seeing if you're willing to meet him in that flirtatious space. And when that connection is mutual, the energy between you starts to shift naturally into something more magnetic, because the way he talks to you is no longer just friendly, it's layered with something deeper. Another revealing sign of sexual attraction is hidden in the subtle shifts of his body language. Happy version of me. Most of the time, these signals aren't intentional, they're unconscious reactions driven by chemistry. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his body naturally adjusts in ways that show he's focused on you and engaged with you at a deeper level. It's like his body is having a conversation before his words catch up. Version of me. One of the first things you'll notice is that he positions himself to face you directly. His torso, his shoulders, his feet, they're all pointing in your direction. This might seem like a small detail, but it's actually a powerful cue. Someone is only mildly interested. They tend to keep their body angled away, leaving an escape route open. But when a man feels that magnetic pull toward you, his posture closes that escape. He's fully present, both mentally and physically. You might also catch him mirroring your movements. This is another subconscious response that happens when attraction is present. If you lean in, he leans in too. If you cross your legs, she might position similarly. Mirroring is the body's way of saying, or we're in sync. I'm connected to you. It's not calculated. It just happens because his focus is locked onto you, version of me, and his body reflects that connection naturally. These are the small moments most people miss, but when you're tuned in, happy version of me, they tell you everything. Another common behavior is preening or self-grooming. When a man is sexually attracted to you, he becomes hyper aware of how he's presenting himself in your presence. You might see him adjust his shirt, smooth his hair, fix his collar, or check his watch. These small adjustments aren't about vanity. They're about wanting to look good for you. It's instinctive, just like in the animal world where a bird fluffs its feathers to attract a mate, humans do it too. Version of me, in more subtle ways. He's making sure he looks his best because he's hoping you're noticing him just as much as he's noticing you. Physical openness is another clue to watch for. When a man is attracted to you, he avoids closed-off postures like crossing his arms or turning his body away. Instead, he creates openness, arms relaxed, legs comfortably positioned, posture alert but not stiff. It's a non-verbal invitation, a signal that says, I'm open to you. I'm safe here. It's not about dominance or posturing. It's about connection. Version of me. His body language is trying to create a shared space between you, both physically and emotionally. You may also observe him unconsciously leaning into your personal space. This is different from the calculated closeness of flirtation. It's more natural, more effortless. He might find himself standing closer than usual during conversation or subtly moving toward you when you're both laughing at something. Version of me. This kind of behavior reveals comfort and desire at the same time. It's about wanting to close the distance without forcing anything. Even his nervous gestures can tell a story. Sometimes attraction makes people fidget slightly, like tapping a foot, adjusting their seat, or shifting their weight from one side to the other. These micro movements often come from the nervous energy of wanting to impress, to connect, or to say the right thing. But they're also a window into real-time attraction. His mind might be trying to stay cool, version of me, but his body is already reacting to the chemistry between you. All of this shows that you don't need to rely solely on words to understand someone's intentions. The body speaks first. It's often more honest, more revealing, and far less filtered than verbal communication. So if you notice these shifts, mirroring, grooming, leaning in, orienting his body toward you, it's usually because his desire is already speaking, even if he hasn't said a word about it yet.
One of the most telling signs of sexual attraction often shows up in the way a man steers the conversation. It's not always about what he says directly, it's about how he gradually shifts the dialogue into more personal, intimate territory. When a man feels that spark of physical desire, he doesn't just stay on the surface level of small talk. He wants to get closer to you, not just physically but emotionally, because sexual attraction is rarely just about the body, it's about connection. You'll notice this when he starts asking deeper, more revealing questions. He'll want to know your thoughts on relationships, your views on chemistry, and what you find attractive in a partner. These aren't casual topics, they're invitations to explore compatibility and flirt with the idea of something more. Sometimes the conversation includes playful innuendo, subtle hints that test the waters. Maybe he teases you about being trouble or makes a joke that lightly brushes the edges of suggestiveness. He's not trying to cross boundaries or make you uncomfortable. That's not what healthy attraction is about. Instead, he's feeling out whether the two of you can share that kind of energy. If you respond with a smile, a playful comment of your own, or a return tease, it sends a clear message that you're comfortable in that space. This back and forth becomes a private little world between the two of you, a conversation that feels different from the way he talks to anyone else. The shift into suggestive conversation is also about building tension. Sexual attraction thrives in tension, not the uncomfortable kind, but the playful, exciting kind that keeps both people wondering, what's next? When he starts flirting in this way, he's trying to see if you're both willing to explore that tension together. It's about creating a safe space where teasing, joking, and hinting at deeper attraction can happen naturally. These moments build anticipation, and anticipation is one of the most powerful elements of chemistry. You'll also find that he starts sharing more about himself in ways that make the connection feel more personal. He might reveal things about his desires, his past experiences, or his ideas about what makes a relationship exciting. This kind of openness isn't random, it's a signal. He's showing you more of his authentic self, and by doing so, he's inviting you to do the same. When this happens in the context of sexual attraction, it creates a mix of emotional and physical intimacy. The two are closely connected. The more someone feels emotionally safe, the more they allow their physical interest to show in healthy, respectful ways. In some cases, the conversation turns into storytelling moments where he shares funny, bold, or slightly risque experiences. Again, this isn't about being crude, it's about creating a comfortable space for flirtation. People use stories like these to test comfort levels, to see if the other person enjoys playful, boundary-pushing humor, and to create a shared rhythm of back and forth that strengthens attraction. It's also important to notice how he listens during these conversations. When a man is genuinely attracted to you, especially on a sexual level, he listens more closely to the things you say about intimacy, attraction, or your preferences. He remembers the small details, he brings them up later, and he lets you know he's paying attention. That's because he's not just talking to talk, he's talking to connect. These shifts in conversation are one of the clearest ways to tell when attraction is more than just friendship. Sexual tension lives in these moments, not in direct statements, but in the playful comments, the shared jokes, the private little language that starts to develop between two people who are drawn to each other. It's the subtle art of saying I see you differently, without ever needing to say it outright. One of the most overlooked but significant signs of sexual attraction is focus. In a world full of distractions, when a man is sexually attracted to you, his attention narrows. It's as if the noise fades and the room shrinks to just the two of you. His phone suddenly isn't that interesting. His friends can wait. Even if other people are around, his energy stays directed toward you. This kind of focus is rare because most people these days are scattered thinking about the next task, checking notifications, scanning the room. But when someone is truly drawn to you on a physical and emotional level, their mind becomes present. Attraction has a way of pulling someone into the moment, making everything else temporarily less important. You'll notice this in the way he listens to you. He's not just nodding along while his mind drifts somewhere else, he's engaged. He picks up on small details, remembers things you've said, and responds in ways that show he's genuinely tuned in. His eyes don't dart around the room looking for an exit or the next thing to grab his attention. They stay on you. And not just in the physical sense, but emotionally too. His reactions become more personal, his responses more tailored to what you're actually saying. That kind of attention isn't given lightly, especially in situations where sexual attraction is involved. It's a signal that he's not just physically interested, but invested in the connection between you. Another way this focus shows up is through his availability in the moment. For example, when you're together, he might ignore calls or let texts go unanswered. Not because he's rude to other people, but because his priority is the interaction happening right now with you. That's a big sign, especially if he's usually someone who's constantly checking his phone or jumping from one thing to the next. When attraction is real, distractions fall away because his mind is preoccupied with the chemistry between you. Even his body language reveals this focus. You'll see it in the way he leans in when you're talking, how his shoulders stay squared toward you, and how his posture reflects attention rather than restlessness. He's not shifting away, glancing at his watch, or looking over his shoulder for something else to do. His focus is locked, and it's because attraction creates gravity. It pulls his attention toward you without him even needing to think about it. Sometimes this focus leads to moments of flow where time seems to pass differently. You might find yourselves talking for hours without realizing it, lost in a conversation that feels effortless. That's not just a sign of emotional connection. It's also a sign of chemistry building beneath the surface. When someone is sexually attracted to you, they often seek ways to extend the interaction. They don't want it to end because there's a part of them that's hoping for more time, more closeness, more connection. Even in group settings, you'll notice that his attention drifts back to you consistently. His jokes are directed at you, his stories are told with you in mind, and he checks your reactions before anyone else's. This kind of behavior shows where his interest is rooted. Attraction creates a sense of tunnel vision where you become the main point of focus, whether consciously or not. So if you find that he's constantly drawn back into conversation with you, prioritizing moments with you over everything else happening around him, it's one of the clearest signs of desire. It's not just about flirting or eye contact. It's about how his mind keeps circling back to you again and again, because something about you is capturing his attention in a way that no one else is.